One of us needs to be on the thing where we can see.
You want to see the comments on it?
Oh, yeah. We live. Hey, crew. Welcome back to our channel. My name is Stacy.
And my name is DJ, and this is After The Vows, where we have real conversations about marriage. And if you like content like that, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. And today, we are talking about
marriage and how sometimes you can be so wrapped up in your current situation and things about that happened in your past in your marriage, and once they brought up you realize you were holding on or harboring resentment. So that recently happened with us. Yesterday we had counseling, and a lot of old baggage was brought up, and we won't go into too much detail with that because we're going through this thing with our counselor where we're following what she said and we're trying to work it out, and if that works out for us, then we'll let y'all know. But what I realized when he was bringing up stuff that happened in the past, it like hit a sore spot that I didn't even know was there. And you know, when somebody, it's like you have all these things in your closet. You know, if you have somebody coming over and your house is dirty, sometimes you throw the stuff in the closet and you close it and you're like, don't go in that closet. Well, in this counseling session, he went in that closet and everything fell out. And to be honest, I felt some type of way. I was like, I thought we was, loyal to each other, even though this is why we in counseling. it wasn't him being disloyal. And when he was talking, even though I felt myself getting, upset and shutting down, I kept hearing God's voice saying, but this needs to happen to get you where I want you to be. And I was still like, I'm just going to shut down. I'm not going to say nothing else, or I'm going to bring out some of your baggage. Honestly, that wasn't the right thing to do, but at that point, it was like tit for tat. You said this about me, and you brought out, my dirty laundry, and so I'm gonna reveal some of yours. Hey Denise. After the counseling session, I left. I was like, okay, I need to get some air. I need to not be around him, and so I left and I went to my mom's house, and I was sitting in her backyard, and I was like, you know what? I had all this stuff festering inside of me, and basically it was lies. Like, the devil will tell you lies sometimes, about your spouse, especially doing something like this that we're doing and trying to be an example for other marriages. But what I did was I was like, okay, we have another counseling session in 2 weeks, and I'm gonna just write out everything he's ever done to me. And y'all, I started making this list, and this list was long and it was not pretty.
Hey Esther.
This list was not pretty, y'all. I know we get in front of this camera and some people might think that we think we're perfect, even though we've said it a million times, we're not. I wrote out this list, and while I'm writing, because I'm using the notes on my phone, I'm writing out this list, and I'm like, okay, the next counseling session, I'm going to say he did this, and this happened in our marriage, and this happened. And all I kept hearing, God is like a still voice, a very calm voice. And I heard him saying to me, 1 Corinthians 13 and 5. And I'm like, what, God? No, I got to finish my list. I don't have time to listen to that. Like, I hear you, God. I know you're a big God. You'll handle this for me. But I have to be prepared for next counseling session, right? So I'm writing on my list, and 1 Corinthians 13 and 5. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrong.
Talking about love, by the way.
Love. That's what I put in there, and it kept repeating that last part. It keeps no record of wrong. I'm like, but God.
I could have done those like a gut check.
So what I did was I don't know if y'all could, my screen is dark, but that scripture is the only thing that's on here.
Yeah, I'm sure that we put it a little bit closer.
Yeah, that scripture,
Come on.
it won't
focus on that. Come on.
But they believe me. They see it's not a whole list. This is the page that the list was on. I deleted everything and copy and paste that scripture there. Because when God says to do something, you be obedient. If you want to see your blessing, you be obedient. And this morning, I don't know how many of y'all watch Transformation Church, but I deleted that list. I was obedient. That message was clearly for me. The last live we did, we talked about coping with anxiety. He talked about somebody being so affected by fear, like that it's, paralyzing them. I'm like, I'm in the bathroom doing my hair, but I'm listening.
I don't want to stop you, but Lady A, make sure you stay tuned, because I do want to say something about that. Stay tuned, Lady A. But, so for those of y'all that are just tuning in, we haven't talked since our last counseling session. This is the first time we're talking, so if it's not like back and forth, like usually I'm really listening to her, because we haven't talked. And our last counseling session was a biggie. So
right, not every counseling session is meant to be all roses and rainbows. And
it was pretty bad.
Yeah, the boxing gloves came off.
Like we was giving one before the session, and then afterwards
right.
It was like.
And that's why when he started bringing out my old baggage, I was like, "Who are you? Who sent you? Like this is not what we're supposed to be doing." But God kept saying, "No." Like this is going to happen. So sometimes when bad situations happen in your life, it's not always the devil that's doing it. You can't always give him credit for it. God has to allow certain things to happen so that you can get to the other side of it and know this person didn't help you. Like my husband, in that moment in the counseling session, he wasn't going to help me. He wasn't out to hurt me, but there was some baggage there was some old wounds that had to be brought out, and you stuck your finger in my wound, and I didn't like it. But I guess you could compare it to like when you get shot, the doctor has to go in there and get that bullet out. It's to save your life in order to be sewn up, because you don't want that sewn up in there.
You be like, leave it, because
it hurts. But God was like, nah, baby, sweetie, this is happening. But
stay tuned later, but yeah, go ahead and get back to what you're saying. You're talking about
Transformation Church. Yes. I was like,
I have to stop you to part where I knew I have to remind you, because I know how you get.
Yeah. So Transformation Church. Pastor Michael Todd. When he said he was supposed to speak on relationship goals, when I turned on the TV, that's what I expected to hear. But he said God told him no. You don't worship. Somebody needs that. And I was like, that's me, God. I'm brushing my hair in the bathroom. And when I was like, okay, you being obedient. And he was like, people dealing with anxiety or fear, so much fear that it's paralyzing them. It's affecting their heart. They can't sleep at night. That was me. Some nights I sat up in bed until it was like the wee hours of the morning, and my body just like shut down. But my heart would be beating really fast, as if I just ran a marathon. And I'm like, God, am I having a heart attack? I know I eat right, but I just worried about our kids so much. I worried about our marriage so much, and I couldn't figure things out. And y'all know I'm bad at that, because I say I like control, and God's like, no, I'm in control. But I'm like, God, one day I'm probably going to die of a heart attack, sitting up like this all night, not letting my body get rest. And excuse me, y'all, I feel like I'm about to cry. Not letting my body get rest, but my heart was beating fast. I would get up and get a drink of water. I would try taking some CBD, or some nights I wouldn't try to take, because I'm like, maybe that's affecting my heart. But I was trying to figure it out, and it was God trying to get my attention. But this morning, the way that he spoke, I ended up on the floor crying, balled up like a baby, because I'm like, this. When you're obedient, all this week I kept hearing, sorry if I'm stumbling over stuff, all this week I kept hearing your testimony and what I've called you to do is going to affect somebody's life. And I kept saying, God, but why are you trying, like, I even told God, don't try to use me. Why are you trying to use me? Like, this is too much for me. don't try to use me on this. I can't save nobody. I can't help anybody. And he kept saying, yes, you. Yes, you. So even that message this morning, I was like, God, it's weighing too much on me. It was so much, like I said, I ended up on the floor crying like a baby. When I looked over, my husband had his hands on me, and he had his head, his head down praying, and I'm just crying, and I'm like, I felt like I had a breakthrough. Now, I don't know how many people, believe in it, and that's none of my business, but I know what I felt, and so I'm going to say that. But I do know I had to realize between that and reading the book Fervent by Priscilla Shire, it kept saying like, sorry y'all, I can read. But yes, reading that, and it kept saying like your kids and your husband and your friends, they're not the enemy. It's more than that. And I was like, but I don't like him right now, God. But he did this, and God like, all right, give it all to me. Let me know. I can see what's really going on, but you go ahead and get it out. So I've been talking a long time, but I'm just saying, be obedient. Allow God to do whatever He's going to do in your life. And like Pastor Todd was saying, rip up your list. My list was totally different. Your list was talking about relationships and what you want in a spouse. I was talking about, God, I didn't want this, but this happened, and I'm going to tell my counselor the next time we talk to her. But I had to rip up that list too, because God was like, nah, you're not the judge of anybody. And focus on you and the work that He's trying to do in you. So I know there was a lot to take in, y'all. I know we missed comments. I had to get that off. I had to say that.
I'm glad you said it. I mean, it's making sense.
Okay, I'm wondering.
Yeah, I know when you talk for a long time, we all do that, we start to get like a little bit self-conscious. But no, that's extremely powerful. I'm actually, that's cool how we go into things with certain expectations, and I don't know, we have this thing where we try to anticipate things before they happen, and I don't know, maybe that's like a damage control type thing. But even when it comes to walking in situations of blessings, listening to sermons, and we're thinking, where we should interpret it one way, like you said, with the list, coming over the list of, I'm going to have $1 million by 30 years old, and I'm going to have 5 kids, blah, 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 that's the list on that. And then, you find yourself making a whole other list that you never even saw coming.
Total opposite.
So I'll say that, honestly, the biggest thing I felt today, and I feel like we both was kind of going through it today, definitely not just her, that message hit me pretty hard too. But the first thing was charged with something that you kind of confirmed.
The mic has static bad right now. I wonder which one of ours. Can you hear us now? I don't even know what mine is.
Is it better now? Yeah, I can see it on the waveform. I don't know what that's about. Hold on a second now.
Check. Sorry, y'all. I'm interested in these comments though. I wonder how long ago she wrote that, if, let me turn this all the way down.
Is this better? Hopefully that's better. I don't see it so much now.
I hear you, but when your husband talks, it's a lot.
Maybe my microphone's too loud.
Yeah, probably. Because when you was in the room, I heard static coming through from your end.
Alright, that should be good. Is this better?
Still there, but better.
Yeah, my microphone was up pretty high. That's probably why. Yeah, so yeah, it hit me pretty hard today. But my thing was, so like Pastor Charles, I think Metcalf said, he was talking about we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spirits, and which kind of confirmation to what you were saying, that we kind of blame our spouses for things, but it's not them. That's the enemy. That's not who we're fighting against. And one thing that I realized today that I've been really bad at, I know the Bible talks about put on the full armor of God, and I misinterpreted that like so bad. I've always thought that I didn't think it this way, but I didn't realize I was doing it. By putting on the armor of God, it was more like a mask of God, trying to do things in a certain order and act in a certain order. And my heart was in the right place, so I'm not too hard on myself about it. Hoping that people, the glory of God will be shown through me and my actions, that, the way I act and the way I conduct myself around others, and that people be like, I want to get to know that God, that allows him to have such peace and joy, and love for what he does, love for his family. And that's all true, that's all extremely true, but for myself, it was
just know that you're helping somebody.
It was so much putting on God that I never really let him in. I always had you're supposed to line up your will. There's a scripture that talks about God will give you the desires of your heart, but the scripture before that, it talks about that basically if you line up your will with your desires, with what God desires, then God will give you the desires of your heart, and which essentially is giving you his desires. And I've done such a great job of doing that I lost track when I veered away from God's will and testament, will and purpose for my life. I think the moment where I started doing what I love to do, which is videography, it was like, that's it, like I'm on track. So like no matter what I do at this point, it was, and I didn't think that consciously, but I realized that in retrospect. It's just like whatever I do at this point, I'm good. I'm in God's purpose. God wants me to do this, and it don't work that way. God can give you a revelation to quit your job right now. God can give you a revelation to do something that's really outside of your normal routine, and then ask you to do that same thing again 3 months later. So you always have to continue to align yourself up with God and check back in with God. Like, yeah, you wanted me to do something big this year. You wanted me to quit my job. I did it. What do you want me to do this year? And then every year check back in, every month, every day. God, yesterday I fed the homeless. And I'm speaking very cliche right now, but I want to be clear and speak on a level that everybody can understand. God, I fed the homeless. I helped somebody pay rent. I went to church. I did my Bible study. Okay, what do you want me to do again today, God? That was yesterday. This is a new day. How are you going to allow the glory of God to shine through you today? And I was really bad at that. And I think because of that armor that I put on, what I thought was the armor of God, I was blocking a lot of blessings as well. But not necessarily for me. A lot of the negativity and negative energies and negative evil spirits, I felt like because I wasn't fighting them, a lot of that bounced off of me and went off to my wife. And I left her to fight a lot of that on her.
It's okay.
I left her to fight that by herself. And I always thought it was just because I was strong, and a lot of things didn't affect me the way it affected her. But I just wasn't dealing with it. And she was doing it for me. And I felt like that was that weight that she felt today. So I want to say I'm sorry for that. I'm really sorry.
It's alright.
I had no idea.
That just made me depend more on God and stop trying to depend on people, because that was my struggle, trying to depend on myself and you and my mom and my siblings and friends instead of God. But God was like, no, I'm gonna put you in a place to where you can only depend on me. So like I first started off saying, whatever happened had to happen for us to grow. Because yesterday what the devil meant for bad, it definitely turned out for God's glory today, and we all seeing it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all, but that kind of hit me like a ton of bricks today. So this was the title. Y'all see the title of the video. So this was kind of the structure that Stacey had. But one thing that I had on my heart was how when marriages are, and this was what I want to say to Lady A. I hope you're still on here. How do you push through your marriage when in that moment you may not like each other? Everything may seem very grim. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. How do you hold on to fight another day in your marriage? And I started to come up with a list in my head of 5 different things. Cause that's like the YouTube way, right? We cover top 5 ways to do this. So
we never follow that.
Yeah. And one of the ways was definitely prayer, and definitely that's a good thing. But the number one and most important one for me was to surrender to God. And when you surrender to God, and I really mean all of it, let all of your hopes, all of your expectations, and really lay it at the foot of the cross.
You can't worry about how crazy you're gonna look, because that was my issue right before we went on. I was so confident. Then as soon as right before we hit go live, I'm like, Lord, I'm about to look crazy. Yeah. But if it's for your glory, yeah. I'm gonna go with it.
Definitely. So definitely do that in your marriage. I don't know what everybody else's marriage look like, but we don't deal with infidelity. I have no issue. I work around a lot of women. Sorry, I'm not interested. But my people know that. So we don't have issues. Women. I mean, my wife is gorgeous too. Y'all see, they're popping right now.
Thank you.
I love my wife. I love my family. I love what I do for a living. So we don't have a lot of, and I'm saying that out of grace, and God is just very gracious, and we're grateful for the blessings we have in our life, because I know there's a lot of people that have it a whole lot worse. So when I say this, please don't take it the bad way, but I just don't feel like we have a lot of the issues that a lot of people that are really struggling in their marriage have. I think a lot of those people look at us like, y'all deal with that little petty crap, but the smallest thing, like that speck in your eye can really be a log if you allow it to consume you. Just like if you ever cut yourself with a razor blade, that almost hurts, not a razor blade, but like a piece of paper, that cuts more. That hurts more than if you accidentally shot yourself or something like that. You might not even notice you bleeding until 2 minutes later. I just shot myself. So it's just one of those things that we allow those small things to consume us, and they just become big for us. So in those moments where it's just like, you know what, I don't know if I even want to reconcile my wife. I want to just hold on to the fact that I feel like she's X and Y years. When you surrender to God, all that stuff kind of comes along with it, you know. So that would be my biggest thing to say.
Okay. We should probably get to the comments.
So yeah, let's read some of these comments. Are you able to see it on there?
Yeah. Even though my phone's about to die because it stay. Okay, so we missed a lot of comments.
Got smart all in my mustache.
Okay. Denise said, hey, we late, but hey.
What up? No, we said hey to them.
Okay, we said hey, okay. Yes, the devil will tell you anything.
Yeah.
That's explaining the battlefield of the mind, how the devil tries to trick you into thinking stuff that's just not true. Dang it, I forgot what it was. That song, Bigger, I forgot who it's by. Something Jakari. I forgot her name. But anyway, she said, whenever the devil tells me I am something, I say I'm not that. And if he says I'm not something, I say I am that. Because he's always going to speak the opposite of what God says that we are. So, I need y'all experience and confidence. I feel broken in my marriage. This is who you was talking to, right, Lady A? Wow, that's a struggle for me. I hate that we so behind in the comments.
No, I was reading it. She was saying that while you was talking. But yeah,
what's a struggle though? So we can. When I was talking about the list.
I don't know what she was responding to.
That's who's saying.
Jacqueline Carr, or Jacqueline. I don't know.
Jacqueline.
I've never seen her name before. I've never heard it.
I played a song a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
you was on it. Like she kind of was real quick.
This song just brings me through so much, and I have to remember, like, God, you are bigger. I pray over my kids at night, like, God, you are bigger than asthma, because some of y'all know our daughter has asthma. You're bigger than anxiety. You're bigger than eczema. Like, anything in this world that could be affecting us and our families, I will lay my hands on my kids, touch the top of their head to the sole of their feet. Like, God, you're bigger. Whatever is going on that's affecting the list. Whatever is going on that's affecting our family, I pray and say, God, you're bigger.
Yeah. Hey, Tiffany. Hey, AJ. So, yeah, they've been with us for a long time.
Yes.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Natural Posh says, I love how transparent you guys are. It's so refreshing. Prayers go out to you both individually and your marriage. Love you both. Love you too.
Who is that?
Natural Posh.
Hey, Natural Posh.
So, we definitely appreciate it, but just know we're not trying to be transparent on purpose. We just don't know how to
be fake. We can't cover nothing up.
Yeah, we're just not really good at that. And then, as you can see, whenever we figure out that we've been subconsciously covering something up, it hits us like a ton of bricks. So,
right.
We don't process that very well.
Right. Because if we're getting on here saying we're trying to help marriages, but we acting like we perfect in front of y'all, and then behind the scenes we fighting and bickering, that's not really helping, because they're going to be like, how they doing that in their marriage? Well, God must not be over here with us, because I've thought that before, like, God, where are you? So he's there. It'll still be some fighting and bickering, but realize the bigger picture of who the enemy is, and maybe God's trying to mold you in to changing who you are, not always your spouse. And sometimes when you change, your spouse will follow suit, but you can't go into it thinking that I'm only doing this because he need help. You know what I mean? Because I've been there before, like, okay, let me do this. God told me to do this, and maybe my spouse.
When you first go to counseling, that's what you go in thinking, like, I'm going to have, like, I'm going to air them out, and then, like, the counselor can fix them. But it don't work that way.
Right, at all. At all.
But definitely appreciate your prayers, Natural Posh. We need them continually. Like she just said, we don't do this channel because we have all the answers, not because we have a whole bunch of answers. We just feel like God has really led us to do this because of our need for transparency. We have very bad communication issues, and not to say that this channel is to air out all our business, but it is to be transparent. So we're not trying to withhold information. We definitely have to be choosy. we should be choosy about what we say, but we probably not. But anything that doesn't come out is just because it's not relevant. But we're definitely not afraid to talk about anything because we know that we're normal people, and that's what we want marriages all around the world to realize, that your marriage is normal. Normal is whatever you define it to be. So for one marriage, it might be, it might be a truck driver out there who only sees his wife once a week. That's their normal marriage.
Right.
But the wife may be at home like, I want a normal marriage. I want to see my husband every day. That's y'all's normal. If you don't want it to be your normal, then, that's a whole other story. But that's normal. Because that same normal works for another couple. So there's some other couple the wife is glad she only sees her husband once a week.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So normal is whatever you define it to be, and we want to be clear that, everybody gets that message. AJ's HR said respect, appreciate it. Esther Farmer said it's all right, God knows your heart, DJ. Don't beat yourself up because God doesn't. His love for you oversees everything.
Amen. So much truth.
I appreciate that. That's my biggest testimony. Is not, it's God's grace for me, because I know how messed up I am in my head. I know I'm not the perfect father or husband. I know I drive everybody nuts from time to time. And what I have in my life right now, whether somebody else sees value in it or not, I see it as value. I'm not going to say in its entirety, because you can always get more clarity and vision on things. But in my heart, I'm truly grateful for what I have, because I don't deserve it. Tiffany Guyton said, you're both so transparent, and I love it. Just know that if you're not helping anyone else, you're definitely helping me in my marriage.
We appreciate that. If we can help one person, that's a blessing to us, and the whole reason we started the channel. So,
Esther said, I believe a lot of times we think we're doing so much wrong and we have to get everything right, and God is like, it's okay, just find ways to make it better next time. That's true.
that's that grace, mercy.
Yeah. Grace and mercy. Everything is a process. Growing in your faith, growing in your admiration for God and reverence, understanding the Bible. I'm pretty sure everybody that reads the Bible could attest that you read it again and the same verse again, and you get something else out of it. And that's for a reason, because through your growth and process, things just look different. I can walk past, this is so stupid, but if I can walk past an aluminum can and think it's trash, but somebody's collecting cans on the side of the road for money. So depending on what your experience and where you are in life, you see value completely different. And what you have value in today, it's going to change tomorrow, next week, next year. So definitely stay in the word and read repetitively. And I'm talking to myself as well, not just to y'all. AJ's HR said, I don't know why
just say AJ.
I don't know why I keep saying the whole thing. AJ said God is a redeemer. He remembers no more when we confess and ask for our forgiveness. And I am grateful for that, because I know how hard it is for me to forget my wrongs, especially how hard it is to forget other people's wrongs, or what you consider to be other people's wrongs, because we'll hold on to something somebody did wrong for us forever. 10
years.
And it's like, if God treated us like that, nobody would get in trouble.
We would be in trouble.
Sure.
And that's exactly what he had to remind me when I was making my list. Like who are you making this list? Add your stuff too. Let me go ahead and delete all this, God.
Esther said, always remember his ways are not your ways. Lean not unto our own understanding. Be encouraged. I understand it sucks.
Right.
It's pretty bad. But when it catches up to God, like, man, so imagine if God really threw all of his wisdom and understanding on you at once. Cause we get like a glimpse of it and we just out on the floor, you know.
Way down, like, Lord, I can't even. Let me give all my burdens to you. Is that what you said, God? Here, take it.
Yeah, just like one little glimpse just clears us out. So imagine if we had all of his understanding. It's awesome that you can speak out on it and get it out and not bottle it up as a man, and your wife is there to love and support you through it. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I have a wife that walks with me. We trip each other from time to time.
Yes.
we push each other off each other's path every now and then, but for the most part, both of our hearts' intention is to walk with each other, and that's really how we're making it through it. You know, we just, even when we don't feel like fighting, you know, we just look to God, or learning to look for God when we don't feel like fighting. But yeah, I'm grateful for that.
I'm grateful for you too. Because when I was laid out on that floor, I was like, which one of these kids touched me? Oh, it's my husband. He's praying with me right there. So yeah, that was.
Eris was praying for you too a little bit.
Eris was like, what is wrong with Mama? Why is she on this floor?
And I'm actually kind of proud of the culture that we have in our home, because Skylar, like, I'm really proud of her. Like at the dinner table, she'll pray. Like if we don't pray, she'll be like, okay, no, let's stop and pray. And she's 5 years old.
If we start eating, she's like, wait a minute, we didn't pray.
Yeah. And even after we pray, she might stop in the middle of the meal, like, you know what, I thought of something I want to pray about. But, you know, when you know, me and Stacy was on the floor, Skylar, like, she wasn't crying. Like, it's almost like she knew what was going on. She looked at me to make sure, like, she was, you know, concerned about Stacy. But when she saw us both on the floor, like, she went and got back in the bed, and she was just watching TV. So the fact that I don't think she fully understood what she was going on, but I think she had a clue that it was God at work. And I'm real proud of the culture, and that's not. I don't mean to pat ourselves on the back on that, because like God is working heavily on us.
Right.
So we don't have a choice but to show how much we're chasing after God, because we need Him every minute. But I'm proud that she's recognizing that. So
Jet knows too.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah, because I was listening to some worship music. I had my hands up, my eyes closed, and worshiping. And I looked, and Eris was doing it too. And then Skylar was like, "What is she doing?" Jet was like, "She blessing God. She blessing God."
So shout out to that Joshua scripture. Me and my house, we will serve the Lord.
Right. Tiara, see, I did see that. I saw so many other comments that we needed to get to, but I want to say hey to Tiara.
Oh, what up?
Yeah.
Lady A lot are similar to my issues being separated. It is making it worse and making everything huge. I'm not gonna pretend to be like a relationship expert in that area. I imagine some people need separation
to grow themselves.
I've actually used to work with a guy that said that he got divorced and got back married with his wife, and it was better than ever. I'm not going to say that was necessary, but I'm grateful, that they worked it out. So I don't know everybody's situation, but just know that we're praying for you.
Right.
And, praying that you stay encouraged through it and just continue to surrender to God. And I don't want to leave anybody out that watch us that are maybe atheists or agnostic. But I honestly don't know what to tell you because I don't know what to tell you because I don't know where we would be without.
Because we fully depend on God.
Yeah, without God, I don't know where we would be. So I don't mean to isolate anybody that is not a Christian, but my heart is with you and my prayers is with you as well.
Right, but we have mentioned in one of our videos that before you come together in a marriage, it needs to be two whole people, and if you're not whole and healthy people, and if you're not healthy, which at the beginning of our relationship we weren't, and that's why our stuff got brought up from 10 years ago. But you have to have a partner that's willing to work with you to get healthy, or God will separate you two and go back to the beginning. Like, hey, I said. You needed to be a healthy person and worry about yourself for right now. So maybe that too could be what's going on. Right.
Yeah.
And then you may come back together and, like he said, be happier than ever because you're secure in yourself and he's secure in himself. Not because you're not all the time when you're married do you understand fully what that other person is going through. We can't read minds. Only God sees the heart. And we don't fully know what's going on there. So we were both struggling with our issues, and we didn't know what the other was going through, and we thought we were fighting each other. Yeah. But the devil was messing with both of us. Like she
don't care about you, or she don't care about herself, or she don't think you care. Like it's just always just lies of deception that come to your mind.
Right, like we said, he worked with. He's not gonna say it, but I'ma say it. He works with some gorgeous women. So imagine what the devil was telling me. He probably cheating. He probably with her, and that's his type right over there. And he probably wasn't doing none of that. So you know what I mean.
And ain't no problem to it. Like everybody be laughing at me how strictly business I am when I'm working. I don't play all that. They was laughing at me because I and like everybody else kept taking off their mask yesterday. And I was like, nope, I'm not taking mine off. They kept taking it on, putting it on and off. Not doing it because my wife catch me in one of these video clips without my mask on. It's going to be a problem.
So we got Joy Lynn in the building. Hey, Joy.
What up?
She been rocking with us for a long time, too.
Oh, and that's what I wanted to say. So as far as your separation goes, my prayer for you guys is that you're both pursuing that oneness that she was speaking on. I think we've seen a lot of couples that unfortunately use separation as a reason to go and act a fool. But that's only adding or justifying to yourself the problem that you already have, and validating yourself, and that's probably, I'm not going to say probably, with a lot of us, that's the issue that we have in our marriage in the first place, that we're constantly seeking to validate ourselves, and we're, that's a huge problem. So that's my prayer for you guys, is that you're both seeking that oneness with the Lord. So, yeah. Or if you don't believe in God, whatever that oneness means to you, I don't know what it is, but you know what it is. Whatever that oneness is, that's important. But I can't imagine if that oneness for you and the oneness for him were two different onenesses. That might be a little weird, but I don't know. I don't have enough clarity, and I don't really.
Y'all take from that what you will.
Yeah, take from that what you will. Like I always have a hard time. Like I don't care about other people's business, but I do. And by that meaning, like I don't want you to go through hurt. You know, I want you to be happy. I want you to experience joy. But at the same time, it's like I'm not gossipy like that. So I don't know how to always explain that. So I hope I come out.
Frank said we sound funny. Is it your mic again?
It shouldn't be. So yeah, I might have to go back and watch this video and figure out. This is our first time using this, so we got like these wireless ceremonic microphones, which for the most part work pretty good, but in a live situation, yeah, it might be a little weird.
Are we way back there? Okay.
Elsa was saying she loves that song. Tiffany was saying she loves that song. The juggling car. Lady A says, how you worry about your kids and husband, and he is not the enemy. Oh, she was saying that's the struggle that she has as well.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah. You'd be like, who sent you? who is using you right now. Okay.
Natural Paul says, I agree, society portrays marriage as this perfect union, which in turn can make people feel like something is wrong with their own marriage. Yeah, that's real. A lot of us don't really have, and I hope I still don't sound bad, but a lot of us don't have that, didn't grow up with that type of role model. A lot of us are breaking generational curses, so we don't know what a happy marriage is supposed to look like.
So we go to social media.
Yeah, we look at social media, we watch, we have our memories of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Family Matters and all these TV shows, the Cosby Show. Yeah. We have our memories of these, TV shows and how we're supposed to interact with each other. I seriously thought marriage would be like that. It would be like this back and forth comedic banter all day.
Because I was going to be Claire Huxtable. She had a little swag to her. She put her foot down sometimes, but he laughed it off. She made him a hoagie sandwich, and everything was good. I thought that was marriage.
I think I'm more of a Uncle Phil.
I knew you was going to say that.
Like he would laugh and joke, but every time he had a moment to have a teachable moment, like he didn't let those pass.
Right.
Lady A says, I have been living as a single mom while being married and having an open divorce case filed by husband. But March 17th, he told me he was sorry and he wanted family, but everything that has been happening. Since I was 6 months pregnant and has all added up, and I'm struggling with everything y'all are talking about. We have been separated since July 2019. God, dog. Yeah, that's a long time. And he was absolutely absent until now, but y'all made 10 years with some of the similar issues I'm facing and his issues.
First of all, look at God. I'm going to say that. Because you said he came back, he apologized.
Right? Oh,
yeah, look at God. He'll definitely do a work in the party that's wrong. When God calls for this marriage to be so.
That's the crazy thing. It's not really always a party that's wrong, but it's like we all.
What I'm saying, he'll cause whichever party to feel conviction or both to feel conviction, and that's probably what he felt to make him come back and apologize. Because men have their pride. I mean, everybody does, but you know what I mean? For a man, okay, I walked away, I'm going to stand in what I did, and that's pride. But instead, God was like, no, this is what you're going to do. And she might have been praying, when you have that praying wife, or I'll say spouse, because, men pray too. But that'll change the situation. Yeah. So, sorry I cut you off.
No, you're good. So I was thinking about that quote that we read or something, and we both made a joke about it. Something about the whole point of life is to be happy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were both like, no. That Bugs Bunny good?
YouTube is not receiving the video.
What's going on?
Can y'all still see us? Because we're getting something saying that the stream.
It's probably going to start ticking a little bit. That's probably what it is.
Oh.
We're going to wrap this up. But, it was like that Bugs Bunny gift, like, right. Because if your primary concern in life is to be happy, divorce is pretty much always an option. It's always going to be an option. But if your primary goal in life is to edify God, resolution is almost the only option. It is the only option. You have to resolve this situation because if you're pursuing the goal of God, like, okay, which one is going to, bring more glory to God? Me being happy, being single, or doing whatever else that I want to do, or me following His word or what He told me to do and what type of person I should be. And that's something only He can answer, really.
Yeah, I mean, but some people get out of marriage and like, oh, I am free, until they realize how much bondage themselves that they are in, and it wasn't their spouse causing it, and they realize, no, I don't want to be single. That person was probably the person that was praying for the bondage that I'm in. I want to be back with them. And sometimes, like your case, he was able to come back. But some people, they like, no. I prayed. I'm gonna pray for you from over there. But yeah, to God be the glory that y'all got back together, and we're gonna continue to pray for y'all. You know. What we at?
And we just hit 2 years on April 27th.
Congratulations.
The first 2 years, the first 2 years is hard, and then the first 7 years is, they say it's the hardest, but it's a different kind of hard. Because it's like the first 2 years is, I don't know, you're meshing two completely different people. So it's like a lot of resentment gets built up during that first 2 years. Then the next 7 years, you start trying to validate that resentment. And that's what causes people to split. Because a lot of times you use that first 2 year resentment as justification of why you should be apart. And I think that's what you wrestle with for the rest of the 7 years. So definitely praying for y'all. Let go and let God. That's really, that's the best advice I can think to give you.
Right.
But she's actually going to school for psychology, so y'all can let her in a couple of years.
Right.
She'll have a more precise answer.
I don't think in school they're gonna give me the godly answer, but y'all know I'm gonna give it to you the God way. Whatever they teach me, I'm gonna give it to you the God way.
Cognitive dissonance. So yeah, it's gonna be a whole different house. I believe in the Father and the Most High. Yes, I believe in God.
Yes.
Kyle said y'all sound funny, but
still understandable. That was what I read. So that was a minute ago.
I think my mic is too close to my face, but I don't have anywhere to put it. I'm not
going to hold this mic out like this.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys are definitely helping me with my marriage. I love watching, and I'm very particular with what I watch. I'm still fairly young, so I like to go and learn all that I can in God. Okay. I'm glad we are helping.
Appreciate it.
We would have the young people after God's heart, because that's the next generation. You know, I'm not saying like we super old or nothing, but it's different when, well, he is. I'm not. I'm still.
Back that up.
No, but I kept hearing that from all different people that, okay, you've been a baby in Christ long enough. It's time for you to mature and step up. At first, they scared me like.
Some meat.
Right. At first, I was like, God, well, what you want me to do? Okay, well, this is it. All right, God, just show me the way, because I'm tired of trying to fight it. I guess I just can't be a baby no more in Christ. Like, show me what you want me to do.
You'll be both.
Joyce said, been married for almost 20 years. Everything you're saying is the truth. Well, thank you, because somebody that's been there and done that, 20 years strong in the game.
Hey, leave some feedback in the comment what you feel like is the best advice and staying together, because we're kind of figuring this out as we go, just the same as y'all do it probably. But 20 years in the game, you got something, drop it in the comments. We certainly will appreciate that.
That's a blessing.
Lady A said they were separate, but they still talk. That's what I thought she was saying. So they're not back together. But yeah, we definitely email you. Love to talk to you.
On Instagram. Yeah, we can talk about it. You got Instagram? Let me know.
She responds to everything. So yeah, love to talk with you and just definitely see how we can pray for you.
Joyman said, communication, leave family out of your business. Oh, well. That's something that you know, but in practice, that's hard, because you want to run to your cousin or your mom or your sister and like, girl, let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what he did. But it's not always going to be godly advice. Now, I do talk to my mama. Since we've been married so long, her advice is like totally not what I want to hear sometimes. Sometimes you want to hear, girl, he was wrong, but she always come back to me like, well, what did you do? Why you guys not getting along? Well, y'all gonna make it. And sometimes your flesh want to hear something different. But
you gotta imagine how many times you probably called your mom. So at this point, she's like, you know, y'all
gonna be together forever.
Yeah,
like,
I'm gonna call BJ and cuss him out, and then he's gonna be like, tell his side of the story, and then I'm like, y'all just pray. And I'm tired of being in the middle of y'all's stuff. So
I'm not answering. Right.
Y'all just gonna figure it out.
Right.
I'm sure that's what she thinks half the time. Cause I know, I got 2 daughters, so I just imagine Skylar calling me, like getting me all worked up, ready to fight her husband, and then the next time I see them, they all booed up on the couch. Like, after seeing that after a while, it's like,
you almost made me shoot this man.
Yeah, I could have killed this dude. You know, don't call him no more. You know, call God.
Right. Jesus on the main line. Tell me what you want. Let me see. You will be able to forgive him or her, but your family won't. No, they don't forget it.
No.
They hold on to that because they want to protect you, which is understandable.
And that was something that I didn't see, because I always felt like I was really good at it. You know, my best friend would call me and talk about his wife, and not always in a bad way. Sometimes it was just like venting. But I would never treat her any differently, you know, and I always felt like I was good at that. My dad too, or whatever, you know, when he was in a relationship, or when he's in a relationship, he'll call me talking about whoever he's with, and then, you know, I see them, hey, how you doing? Like, it's no love lost. But everybody can't do that, and that's the craziest part. And then the other crazy part is sometimes your spouse can sense that, like, your spouse is sitting up here looking at me crazy. Y'all been talking, like, something I don't know.
You had to have told him about our last argument.
So I figured that out, like, probably within the first 3 or 4 years of our marriage. And I would say the first year, but it was like, it took a while for those habits to completely drop off. But like probably by year 4, like, man, I ain't telling them nothing, because like they don't know how to hold their teeth. They don't.
And I have to admit, I was bad at that. Like, somebody, like whoever my brother was with. Now my brother is like that's my baby brother, that's my only brother, that's my baby. So I'd be like, she better not, like, that's my brother, like that. You know what I mean? And I'm like, no, I'm not smiling at her. She talked to you the wrong way, I'm not dealing with her, because if she do it again, I'm like, Jesus, muzzle my mouth, Lord. You know, but God had to do a work in me. You know, he's still working in me when it comes to the love for my brother.
I mean, that's all good. I know I got that messy aunt. That, like, when she found out something, she can't.
I ain't going to the family picnic if she didn't.
Man, so it was like, I can't tell them nothing.
I have been married 3 years. How long have you guys been married? We've been married 9 years and together for 10. So
I was about to say August. That's my birthday. February 5th, 2012.
Yep, and it was so crazy. Like, we thought we were planning out this big wedding. Weddings, how big your wedding is, they don't determine how long you guys are gonna be together. Because I called our pastors, and he was asking. We went through marriage counseling, but he was asking, like, you sure you want to? Because we were so young. You sure you want to get married? You sure y'all ready for it? He knew the weight of marriage. So. Are y'all ready? I'm like, yeah. So he's like, okay, this Sunday, when y'all come to church, I'm gonna marry y'all. I'm like, okay, you know, this Sunday, that's kind of soon. I ain't got time. We went to this store called Love Culture. I picked out a white dress. Y'all, I picked out a white dress. He went and got some slacks and a white t-shirt or something like that. And he went to church. I stayed home, and my brother's girlfriend at the time did my makeup and my hair. And I remember him texting, like, where you at? Church almost over. They sent out to the members of the church with blue and green or something like that. And then I walked in. There was like, before we dismiss for church, we have a surprise for y'all. They call us up to the front, and that's how we got married. And then people wanted to give a speech. It was like a really small, tight. It's crazy.
And me, you know, and I'm glad, you know, because those of y'all that don't know, I primarily film weddings. And I'm glad we didn't have a big wedding, because I don't think I would have appreciated it. I definitely wouldn't have hired a photographer. I definitely wouldn't have hired a videographer. I don't know how the decoy would have been because we didn't really know Shanae at that time. Who would probably do our decoy if we do a wedding. But yeah, it was a lot that I didn't appreciate since I started filming weddings, and like now I feel like I can appreciate it more.
Yeah, you learn to appreciate it.
Yeah.
So we do have a vow renewal. I know it's gonna be bomb, y'all. I just know the best videographers, the best photographers. It's gonna be lit.
Yeah.
He friends with makeup artists, y'all.
I didn't know.
We will film it.
None of my clients have been divorced, at least not as far as I know, but I hear it all the time that, there's couples that got married and then they get a divorce before the videographer even gives their video back.
Oh yeah, he had somebody he was working with, a particular company, and he was like, okay, I shot this video, why'd you edit it this way? And he was like, because the couple got divorced and they just said they wanted a video just edited any type of way. That's crazy.
It was a big wedding, y'all. It was 5 photographers, 2 videographers. They had security all over the place. This wedding was huge. And they divorced within 3 months.
Because some people want the marriage. Some people want the marriage just for the wedding, just for the show. Hey girl, look, I'm getting married. He asked me to marry him. They get this big ring, and put it all over the place. But what's going on in here?
I've always wondered that, and I don't know if you can answer this, but and I appreciate it because I'm a videographer. I love to film emotion and stuff, but the whole, will you marry me? Like, what are you expecting is going to happen during marriage that you're that elated to where you're just like screaming, crying?
Nobody told him it was going to be work because I was excited. But
I love my wife. I'm grateful for my marriage, but I don't know what y'all are expecting. Do y'all just
wait? No, I said nobody told me it would be work. Our pastor told us, I kid you not, that the first month of our marriage we would both want a divorce, and we did. I set that ring on the kitchen counter a couple times. Like, you can have this. Keep it.
I was concerned because and y'all stay tuned. Make sure y'all subscribe because we got a video coming up where we talk about how we met and read our old comments and stuff. But she mentioned that, and I was like, I don't think you're gonna be able to find our old comments because you deleted me off your friends list so many times.
I was so petty. I was petty.
Yeah, the first time she broke up with me, she left because. Yeah, she left the Chris Brown video Deuces on my timeline. That's how she broke up with me. Just childish. Real young, y'all. But I was childish. And I followed that up with because I was on my rock music back then. So I followed up with 3 Days Grace Home. It was most of y'all don't know nothing about 3 Days Grace.
Where are we? Oh, that's so true. Family is biased. Well, Joy said something. Oh, okay. Then you'll be able to forgive. We are all imperfect people. Definitely.
Family is a big pill to swallow, especially now since we are talking again. He won't come around if I'm with certain family. That's something that has to be worked out within y'all for sure. That's something that I think about and I ruminate on from time to time, that when I marry my spouse, I marry their family as well. But that's not how it should be. Unfortunately, that's how it is sometimes, but that's not how it should be. Y'all should be on one accord. This is a covenant between you two. Excuse me. You two and God. It's not a covenant between your aunt, uncle, mother-in-law, and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Right. But I do want to say, I love the bond between you and my family. Because once we got married, y'all remember the brother that I said I love so much? He used to call me his sister-in-law and call him his brother. Like you were his real brother. I'm like, okay, y'all, bromance. But yeah, and then even my mama, she talks to you like, not like you her son-in-law. Like, she'll get on you the same way she'll get on us. It's like, no, she doesn't see that.
Sounds like an intimate wedding that you will always cherish. I cherish it in my mind, but I don't remember most of it. The only thing I remember, it was like, she looked like so beautiful that day. I don't know what it was.
And he was crying like,
and whatever. I wasn't crying. I'm about to go get some wine. My voice is going up. I need some wine. But yeah, she was so beautiful. I couldn't look at her. So that's the only thing I really remember. I don't think I looked at her really the whole wedding. And I think when we have I'm not going to say if, when we have a wedding again, first of all, y'all all invited. Right. But second of all, I'm probably going to cry because now I know what that wedding really means. I think before it just like all really blew past me. I was just like, I don't really care. It's just like a piece of paper. It don't really mean anything to me. But now like a wedding is a real reason to celebrate for me now that I know what it means. So I already tell everybody, I'm gonna tell y'all now after 8:30, I know we seem all kind of holy and righteous right now, but after 8:30 it's gonna be some twerking. It's gonna be some it's going on.
Because your wife likes to twerk.
I'm gonna be twerking too. So yeah.
You like tell the pastors if they don't want to see the twerking, you gotta go home after 8:30, send the kids home.
It's gonna be.
That's a part of marriage. Have fun.
It's going down. 8:30. I'm just one. That's the only one that I might even put on the invitation. 8:30. If you don't want to see some ratchetness, go home because it's about to get ratchet.
Oh Lord. AJ said, "Say that, Stacy." I guess about the when you get excited about the wedding, and then it's what's going on in here. You don't. Okay. Look, we talking to. Okay. Natural Paul
said, I agree. I went to the courthouse. I am not pressed for a big wedding in this moment because in my mind that could go towards purchasing our home. I may do a vow renewal at the 5 or 10 year mark.
Right.
I ain't mad at that at all. But like I said, I think for newlyweds, the expectations, I think the vow renewal just gets that much more, unless you get a photographer and a videographer, and that's something you can appreciate later on down the line. But I think initially, without something to remember it by, you just don't appreciate it the same as you would a vow renewal. After you've been through some heartache and some struggle and really stuck it out, you have something to celebrate. I mean, even if it ain't me, I don't want to do this like everybody hire me. If you want to hire me, I'll do good work, I promise. Definitely hire a photographer, videographer if you have any type of vow renewal or marriage, because you definitely appreciate that a little bit further on down the line after y'all been through some stuff.
The vow renewal?
In both of the marriage, the wedding and vow renewal.
Oh yeah, the vow renewal, because you know that they're marrying you for you. Like they seen the good, bad, and the ugly, and they still like, I still want to do life with you. So that would be more important to me. Well, I get lost. Here I go again. Hello, lovely couple. Hey.
What up?
Y'all, that's my mama.
AJ said, most good your mother-in-law treats you as one.
Adults only after 8:30.
Oh yeah, it's going down. With a Y. Down.
Yes. Play the slow jams, before 8:30. The first dance and all of that, but who is that? Dang it, I forgot his name. Uncle Luke.
Oh man,
Uncle Luke after 8:30.
We ain't gonna do Uncle Luke.
No, we won't.
No, we ain't gonna do that. It might be a whole lot of. I can't contest to a girl I used to see till they thought I chose this cutie pie. Yeah,
I apologize if it's that's my jam too.
Wait a minute. Not I was finished. It might be like a whole lot of that.
Right. Did y'all do premarital counseling?
Yeah, we did. We went through our pastors at the time that married us, and we also went to Champions Church for premarital. I don't remember.
It was like a group.
Yeah. It was more like a group therapy type thing.
It was like a one-day thing, and then you get a discount on your marriage license.
Which is why we did it. We wanted to get a discount, baby.
That's it. We decided to our.
Yeah, we've been on here for an hour and 10 minutes, so.
And we have my mother watching our kids, and we said 1 hour.
Yeah.
So we got a lot in 1 hour, and we appreciate y'all hanging out with us and not talking about our gangster because we cried. But when it comes to God, we're okay being in our weakness. So yeah, we're gonna get off of here. And my name is Stacy.
And my name is DJ.
And this has been After the Vows. We're out.
Out that bound. Cut the black. Boom!
Are you sure you want to end?
Yeah, I want to end. You want my social security number?